Good start there by Vijay. Full toss ball, and this will be the first big blow to undefeatables. -5 on the scoreboard. A low full toss wanting to go for a big one, and that will be the very first wicket of the day on the very second ball. Day 2 has already begun on a good note for Addicts. So now one of the very good batsmen, Kaur, is off the mark right away. Still the scoreboard will show in minus, but now Mukesh is on strike. Oops, that will be a wide ball. Trying to bowl outside the off stump. Wonderful one this time, a good comeback, and he's got a good first over that he started off with. In the air, and that will be wicket number 2. What a catch right away. 2 big wickets, and the reason they are big is because every wicket in the first over also brings that -5 on the scoreboard. So 2 big blows right in the start for undefeatables. And 2 good batsmen are back in the dugout. First over that is started off with Mukesh and Guru. Both are fantastic batsmen. Both are back in the dugout now. Kaur is still there in the center. Here comes Puneet Gidwani. Two big wickets in the very first over. What an over by Vijay. Good start. Bit of a change in the fielding. And yes, they will be looking for one more wicket here. What a great start by Addicts. Two wickets. And the first over is still on. Nicely played on the front foot by Puneet. Will be no run here, and that will be the end of first over. A fantastic over by Vijay Moser. -9 will be showing. -8 will be showing on the scoreboard. Picking up 2 wickets in that very first over. Vijay. And now, who's going to bowl? I can see the ball in the hands of Yash Babani. Another very good player. All-rounder. Uses his wrist to twist the ball. Now let's see what will be the twist in the tail. Good flight to the delivery, nicely played by Kaur. Just a quick single brings back Puneet on strike. And a good way to start even for Kaur, that he's taking those singles. Another good flight to delivery, keeping it outside the off stump, straight to Manish Sarvaiya, who is standing behind the stumps. That was a close one. He wanted to go for that run as well, but no chance. 3 fielders attacking that ball. Now they're keeping the fielding very tight, very alert. In the air, and let's see how long does it travel. It will travel quite a mile, and that will be 6 number 1 for day 2. Good strike there by Puneet, trying to release that little bit of pressure that was created in the start. In the air, and what a comeback by Yash. An easy catch there by Darshan, who's standing at the mid-on region. And that will bring in a new batsman, Anuj Mishra, to the center. -1 will be the score now. That will be on the onside and will be called wide. So now the score is 0. Into the gaps will be only a single, but I think that is what they need to get at this moment. Any risky shot that they're trying to play, or any kind of aggressive shot they're wanting to play at this point, they'll have to be very careful, because they've lost 3 quick wickets. End of over number 2, a good one by Yash. Of course, a good sixer by Puneet as well in that over, but taking that wicket as well was very important. Score is 1 run for the loss of 3 wickets. Good fielding there. Shardul is the new bowler. That's well in the air, and 1 more wicket. Easy catch there for Sagar, and that will be wicket number 4. So fantastic start by Turf Addicts. The bowling has been very impressive. Right from over number 1, where Vijay got 2 wickets in that over. And then it was Yash who got 1 more wicket, and now it is Shardul who took that 1 more wicket. So that will be in total 4 wickets that have gone till now, for a score of just 2 runs on the scoreboard. That will be pretty much concerning for undefeatables. They will have to make a plan, both these batsmen. Now Tathir Chautani joins the center. So Tathir and Anuj will have to really take that big responsibility on their shoulders, and will have to stay there for a long time. Good one there again by Shardul, bowling on the stumps. And that will be on the onside, but that will be way outside the leg stump, and that will be called wide by our umpire Karunakar Kotian. Good delivery once again. Good drive straight to long off region. Quick single there. That will bring in Anuj back on strike. Left and right hand batsman combination. So of course there's going to be a lot of field changes the moment the strike changes. Trying to play on the onside. He wanted to go for a run. Rightly sent back by Tathir. End of another fantastic over by Shardul. That will be the end of over number 3. And here comes the big over. The monster over, brought to you by Niton Wolf Group. And here where the entire twist in the tail lies is because in this over, the batsmen can go aggressive because they don't have too many runs on the scoreboard, but at the same time they'll have to be very careful because one mistake and there will be another -5 that will be added on the scoreboard. On the other hand, Turf Addicts would be wanting to capitalize this momentum because they've been taking wickets almost, not almost, in every over we've seen a wicket going down, and they would love to continue that in this over as well. So Tausif will bring in that monster over, starts off with a white ball. A very good sweep on the onside. Quick single there. And this is what they will have to do in this over. Full toss ball straight to Vijay. Tathir wanted to go for that run, but there was no chance for that one. Oh, well, I think he missed that completely when he was releasing the ball from his hands. That will be a wide. It's a no ball. Well, that will be a no ball. And yes, the much awaited free hit that Anuj would be looking for is there with him. Can he make the maximum? Yes, he goes on the top, but that will be outside the fence. Shardul always very excited. He almost thought that he got his man, but no, it was a free hit. But good energy to see. Got to celebrate every moment. That keeps the energy levels high. That is a good shot. Nicely punched. A direct hit would have been close, but Tathir very fast to get into that crease at the striker's end. And that will be 14 runs on the scoreboard now for the loss of 4 wickets. The fourth over, the monster over, brought to you by Niton Wolf Group, is still in progress. Trying to play on the onside, again an extra. Extras have been very concerning in this over. Conceding a lot of runs here, 16 runs now. That is a good shot, straight to Sagar, and it's a -5. Why would he do that at this point in time where they've lost 4 wickets and this is a monster over? He wanted to go for a flat 6, but straight in the hands of Sagar Dalvi. He makes no mistake, one of the finest players and good fielder as well. 16 runs now. Takes a very easy catch. Catch number 2 for Sagar here.
Good shot, straight to Sagar, and it's a minus.
So Salman now taking the charge. Well, of course, with that -5, the score now is 11 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. More 2 balls to go in this over, and they'll have to be very careful. 1 ball. Idhar update karna. More 1 to go. Salman on strike. That will be a white ball again. Extras have been concerning, really concerning in this over, but he's managed to take that wicket as well. Another wide. And that will be the end of the monster over brought to you by Niton Wolf Group. 4 overs have been bowled here, and the score now that we see is 15 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. Now the remaining 4 overs, who's going to bowl, how many runs are they going to concede, everything is going to be very important in this game. Undefeatables, of course, would love to get a good score by the end of the 8th over. But yes, 5 wickets have been down, but 2 good batsmen are there still at the crease. On one side you have Salman, on one side you have Anuj. Here comes Manish Sarvaiya. In the air, and what a 6. A wonderful strike by him, and he looks to be all set in this situation as well. Anuj. That will be a white ball. With that white ball now, the score being updated. 22 runs on the scoreboard. Good shot into the gap. He hit that one very hard. Probably was looking for a couple of runs here, but will have to settle down for one only. That is not what he wanted to play. That will be a wicket. Another batsman going towards the dugout. He surely wanted to play on the onside, but the ball went outside the fence. Probably the try was to hit a carpet shot. Wicket number 6 going down for just 23 runs on the scoreboard. That will bring in a new man in, Sabir Tanwar. The only thing with all the batsmen who have come to bat, they've not really been there on the crease for a long time. Some or the other mistake, and there's a wicket that has fallen down. Just giving the direction to the ball, not trying to hit that one too hard. Sabir is off the mark with that single. Anuj Mishra back on strike. Another good shot, but will only get a single. Well, Anuj has been in a good form. He's middling the ball very nicely. That will be a dead ball. That will be a dead ball again. That is in the air, and one more wicket. One more wicket. Very shocking. Wicket number 7 going down. Sabir Tanwar trying to go the aerial route, but outside the fence, and that will be wicket falling down. Undefeatables in a big trouble. Someone has to stay to at least play all the 8 overs, and I'm sure there will be good runs that they can score. On one side there is Anuj, who is batting very well, but someone needs to be there with him to be there for the 8 overs. 7 wickets have been down, and that will be a start of a new over as well. So Aditya Shetty will come to bowl. The 6th over. Again a quick single by Anuj. Karan Vora, the new batsman in. That will be a wide. One more run added to the total. 27 for 7. Good shot there, but straight to the fielder. That is a leading edge, and that will be straight in the hands of Yash Babani. I think he was trying to play on the onside, and the ball took the top edge of the bat, and another disaster for undefeatables. Another wicket falling down, wicket number 8. Yamin is the new batsman who's coming in. Another fantastic batsman. But the only point here is they need runs. They need to get some runs. There are wicket falling down. Someone has to give a stop to that. And here's a bit of a plan that they're discussing for Anuj. He's the key man who's been standing there holding the fort at one end. Oh, that I think will be a wide, yes, given by the umpire. On the onside that he wanted to play, but that will be a dot ball. Nicely placed into the gap. Will bring Yamin. So 2 left-hand batsmen playing, and I think that is what Anuj will be telling Yamin, that let's not go for any risky shots here. Let's complete and play all 8 overs, which is the right advice at this point in time, coming from Anuj. Into the gaps again, another single, and that will also be the end of 6th over, and more 2 to go. Well, of course, I think the last over will be Sagar Dalvi, but the thing will be who's going to bowl this over. So it will be Tej Singh. I hope he's doing good today. He was unwell yesterday, but still came out to bat. Was fielding for some time, but it's all good with him today. Good to see him back. And that will be a power play over by Chauhan Group of Companies. Bit of a change in the fielding again. So Yamin on strike and Tej to bowl at him. Nicely bowled again onto the stumps. Very attacking line and length right from ball 1. That will be a white ball for sure. Yes, it is. Another run added, and that will take the score to 31 runs for the loss of 8 wickets. This is the second last over of the first innings. Another white ball. Well, at this moment, any run that is coming is good for undefeatables. Whether it is coming from an extra, whether it is coming from the batter, all they want is runs at this moment. They want to give a competitive total to the opponent team, which is Turf Addicts, and that will be the try. Yamin on strike. He's been looking good. Another defensive shot on the front foot, straight to the fielder, Tosif. This one going on the onside, but there's a fielder again. That will be another dot ball. Well, this is the second last over. They will have to get runs here. Oh, that was an edge, but no chance there for a catch for Manish. That will be a good single. Will bring in Anuj on strike. Let's see what is he gonna do. Yes, there's been a pressure, but will he hit a big one? 33 runs is the score. And that one's in the air. Sagar coming on the ball, but no. It is gone. A big one. A sixer by Anuj. A much needed big hit at this point in time, and surely those important 6 runs will take the score to 39 runs for the loss of 8 wickets. All the hopes now on Anuj. He's been striking the ball very well. One more in the air, and yes, that will be another sixer to end that over. With those 2 sixes now, the score is 45 for the loss of 8 wickets. To whatever pressure situation it is in the center, there's no pressure on Anuj for sure. His bat is talking, and is talking very well. 2 consecutive sixes and taking the score to 45 runs here. And now I will also request full toss ball in the air for a long time, and will travel quite a mile. That will be a big 6. 51 now. First 6 on the very first ball of this last over of first innings. That will be a wide ball as well. 7 runs on the first ball. Just 1 ball bowled, and already 7 on that. That is one more sailing, but that will be a wicket. So Sagar strikes here, and that will be wicket number 9. Just 1 to go for undefeatables now. Last wicket. Shaukat will come to the crease. Shaukat Sheikh. A wonderful bowler, a very good batsman. Shaukat taking the crease. Bit of a changes into the field here. They would love to take that last wicket very soon, but all that Shaukat has to do is give the strike to Anuj. He's been playing very well. 52 runs on the scoreboard for the loss of 9 wickets. Here we go. I request the captains of all Monsters and Viking Warriors to please be ready for the toss. Oh, what a reverse sweep. Wonderful reverse sweep. But I think that will go to the declare zone. Anuj wants that strike very desperately. And why not? He's been timing the ball really well. And first warning given to Anuj. And this is the right sportsman spirit shown by Sagar. That will be a single, and exactly the single that was needed will bring in Anuj Mishra on strike. How many sixes now he has in his mind? Only 2 deliveries left of this last over. 54 is the score. In the air, and nicely timed for a sixer. Wonderful piece of timing. And what a player. Anuj played under that pressure situation where on one end there were continuously wickets falling down, and is still standing rock steady for his team. That will be a wide ball, and that will take the score to 61 now. Will he finish off with a 6? Another wide, 62 now. That will be in the air, and yes, he finishes off things in style here. What a player, Anuj. Truly deserved very well innings for him under pressure. And I request now the captains for all Monster and Viking Warriors for the toss.
You have the coin, no? I got it.
Go toss.
Check.
So it's toss time for match number 2. All Monsters up against Viking Warriors. I've got Ruby Arora to flip the coin. Sid to call. Swaraj is the call. Swaraj it is. So all Monsters have won the toss.
We like to feel.
All the very best.
Thank you so much.
All the best. Thank you. So all Monsters have won the toss, have elected to field up against Viking Warriors. Good comeback this by undefeatables. Anuj has played really well, and target is 69 for Team Turf Addicts. Live action coming your way. Thank you.
Thank you, Zishan. And yes, what a fantastic comeback by undefeatables, and especially Anuj Mishra holding the fort at one end where the entire ship was sinking. He was holding till the last moment, and he's proved that he's one of the fantastic batsmen to play under pressure as well. Chalo guys, let's quickly start the game. Chalo team undefeatables, let's quickly start please. So here we are, a wonderful comeback by undefeatables, and we'll have to wait and watch now how they perform in the bowling department as well. Guru will start off the formalities for undefeatables, bowling the first over. Yash Bhavani and Vijay Moser, the strike batsmen, are at the crease. And we also have the coach of undefeatables, Mr. Shanawaz. Good to see him as well. So Yash Babani on strike. Here we go. The chase for 69 runs start here. Will they go for that run? No, no, no is the call by Vijay. Don't want to take any risk in the first over. Right thinking by him. Straight to Sabir. Another dot ball by Guru. Full toss ball and nicely played. Wonderful sixer to start off with. Any kind of full toss ball will be punished like this, and that was in the range of the swing of his bat, and he makes no mistake. Wonderful sixer by Yash. Nicely played again into the gaps. Well, this is more important, especially in the first over, when you know that you have to play safe. Put that into the gap. Get a single, change the strike. Good one by Vijay. Wants to go the defensive mode, and the right thing to do after getting a sixer on that first over by Yash. By the end of the first over, it will be 7 runs on the scoreboard for no loss. And now they will love to play a little freely. Because what happens is that most of the times that I've seen in the first over, because there is a rule which says that if you get out in the very first over, there is a -5 that will be accounted on the scoreboard. And that is the reason some batsmen are not playing that freely. They want to go for a big one. They want to play their shots naturally. But that one thing that is there in their mind, that if I play something wrong and if something goes wrong, then there will be a -5, and that is the risk that not most of the batsmen love to take. And that is why first over, whichever batsman has taken that risk has either paid the price for it or have been successful. But as soon as that rule goes away after the first over, from second over we can see the batsmen really striking the ball very hard, trying to play their natural shots, and that continues for another 2 overs, because then the time comes for the monster over powered by Niton. In that over, there's something for the bowlers, there's something for the batsmen as well, but then again it has its own pros and cons. But now we'll come to the over number 2, where Karan Bora is going to come to bowl left arm over the wicket, straight to Mukesh. This time wanted to cut that one towards the backward point region. Steps out, and that will be a wonderful boundary. One bounce into the boundary rope. Yash Babani is on a roll. He wants to finish things early. And the second match of the day is going to be pretty much exciting. All Monsters versus Viking Warriors. In the air, and what a shot! Sixer!
All Monsters जीता ना फील्डिंग लिया ना All Monsters
Oh, that was very wide, and there was a chance for Puneet to take off the bails. So as I told you, after this exciting match, which we are watching live, again, I think this will be very close. For a moment, it looked like Yash Babani had come back safely, but Puneet is very confident that he's got his man. Now we'll have to wait for the third umpire to review this one and give the decision. Meanwhile, the news from the center that we saw in the earlier sometime back during the toss, the next match what we're going to see is Viking Warriors versus All Monsters. All Monsters have won the toss and they've selected to field first, have invited Viking Warriors to bat first, and why not? Viking Warriors would love to bat first as well, because what a fantastic performance we saw yesterday by the owner himself, Mr. Wasim. He was charging down the ground, and those sixes were even memorable. It's still there where we can see on the YouTube. What a fantastic batting by him yesterday. The owner taking the lead, and superb performance by Wasim yesterday. So he would love to bat again today as well. Whereas for All Monsters, it will be the first match of the Swaraj Cup, where Vikings has played 2 matches yesterday. So now it's time for brothers to be on the crease and play. Sanjay Moser and Vijay Moser. And I also welcome Mr. Vicky Kandhari at the Swaraj Cup. And also our dear sponsor of Super 8. We also So welcome Vicky sir. Even he did his debut at the turf cricket yesterday. It was good to see him back with those sports shoes and the team jersey and playing inside. Exciting match coming after this. Viking Warriors versus All Monsters. All Monsters won the toss, selected to field first, invited Viking Warriors to bat first. And now let's go back to the live action. Yamin at the bowling end. Sanjay trying to charge on the offside this time, will end up in the declare zone, will be only a single. Trying to charge. Will be a quick single. And a loud shout by Vijay. Sanjay Dhao. Sanjay, run. Let's take that single. Let's put some pressure on the fielding. Right thing to do. Good delivery. Very good delivery. Straight to Puneet. That is not what he was wanting to bowl. That will be an extra, probably covering the dot ball that he bowled. And that will take the score to 21 now. Another extra. They can't afford extras like this. They've got a good competitive total on the scoreboard, but not really a big one. Full toss ball pulled away nicely by Vijay, and that will be a run out. So Sanjay will have to go back to the dugout. Run out. That will bring in Sagar Dalvi. The vice captain of Turf Addicts. A professor by profession, and now here a very good sportsman, a good player, a good cricketer at the crease.
Hey, how are you, Ray?
Chalo, request to start. That will be another wide delivery. So extras now has been concerning, especially not a big total as I told earlier. So they'll have to be very economical in their bowling. In the air, and not quite a good hit, but that will also be a wicket. So Vijay Moser departs. Salman taking a very good catch, especially was running opposite.
Merchandise part.
Also, we would like to thank our merchandise partner, RSK Clothing, and it's time for Aditya Shetty to join Sagar at the crease. Well, what just happened here? Sagar Dalvi seems shocked. That is a very good wicket. And no match can be predicted, and no match is incomplete without the twist that we see at every moment. On one side, if we saw in the first innings, especially the first 4 overs of the first innings, was completely dominated by Turf Addicts, but the later half of the game was also dominated by Turf Addicts, but still it did not stop Anuj Mishra from hitting those sixes, and he came back and he brought back that competitive total on the scoreboard. And now on the other hand, where you're seeing there's a good decent start by Turf Addicts, but still there is a chance where undefeatables can still make a difference here with that wicket of Sagar Dalvi, a very important wicket that has fallen down. Things are looking a little bit in pressure for Turf Addicts. They have to get a total of 69 runs. We would also like to thank Vishal Karya and Vivek Kothari for giving us this wonderful turf, beautiful infrastructure on which we see all the games live. Reverse whip. Straight to Puneet. Good presence of mind by Puneet. Wonderful delivery, straight to Puneet once again. Good bowling. Shaukat is the man who is bowling this crucial over. The monster over brought to you by Niton Wolf Group. Well, again interesting one. Straight to K this time. Dot ball. So Sohil Arora is at the batting end. In the end, Mukesh the fielder. So a fantastic over by Shaukat, completing that monster over brought to you by Niton Wolf Group. And after the end of 4 overs, the score is 68 runs. "28 runs have been scored and 41 runs needed of 24 deliveries. Anuj comes to bowl. The man who did all the difference and bringing a competitive total on the scoreboard, Anuj Mishra at the bowling end. Very good delivery, completely beaten with the pace. Good shot, but straight to the man there, and Guru makes no mistake. Sohil walks back to the dugout. Another wicket falling down. A fantastic player who bats from left hand and bowls from right hand strikes on the very first ball. Anuj Mishra. So Darshan Modi now at the striker's end, sorry, into the gap. Will have to be satisfied with that single. Aditya comes back on strike. Now the run rate is increasing. Of course, the 40 needed of 20. And when you have 40 needed of 20, which is now 19 with that dot ball, 40 needed of 19, there has to be a hard hitting that has to come straight to the fielder. There's a misfield. Yamin backing that up very well. Karan Vora, the fielder there. That's a quick single. For a moment it looked like Tatir will be bowling, but no, he gives the ball to Sabir Tanwar. So Aditya will be on strike. Wonderful start by Sabir. And I think this is a good strength of bowling that we are seeing from undefeatables. Starting right from Guru. Full toss ball, and that will be a big six. The one that was needed from a long time just to release that building pressure. That changes things a little bit now. 33 runs needed of 16 deliveries. 33 runs needed of 16 deliveries. 36 is the score. And that's a clean bowl. Great comeback and a good answer by Sabir. Wicket number 6 falling down for Addicts. Sabir Tanwar to continue.
Born in 1979.
Very good delivery. Well, I think he's trying to pull that block hole line. A very attacking one by him. Wonderful flighted delivery, but that will be a wide. But it was a good delivery for sure, but it traveled quite wider after the ball pitched. Well, when just we are talking about a lot of twist in the game, 2 consecutive wides by Sabir, and there is still a bowling power play that is remaining. So if Darshan and Manish takes good advantage of that bowling power play, things can still change. There is a power play, bowling power play still remaining. 38 runs on the scoreboard. That will be another wide. What's happening here? He started off very well. That will take the score to 41 runs. Last ball that he had to bowl, and he takes a wicket. celebrating that one, and why not? 3 consecutive wide, and just the last ball that he had to bowl, Darshan wanted to go on the top and makes a mistake here. Wicket number 7 back in the dugout. So now things have become a little interesting with that wicket going down. So Tathir now comes at the bowling attack.
सेकंड से 8 कब भी ले
So Tathir Chautani has come to bowl Manish on strike. Another dot ball. And let's also welcome the handsome hunk and one of the finest actors of Telugu films and Bollywood as well, Mr. Arjun Bajwa. We've seen him in a lot of fantastic movies, movies like Guru, Wo Tera Naam Tha, and why not in 2008 we saw him in film Fashion, where he was a male lead, and also received a Stardust Award for that breakthrough performance by him. So welcome Mr. Arjun Bajwa at the Swaraj Cup. It's really great that you're gracing this occasion with your presence. And the Swaraj Cup welcomes the most handsome hunk and finest Bollywood actor, Arjun Bajwa. In the air, and this will be a good catch by Yamin. Yes, the advantage of the height, of course, but he had to also jump and time that jump to perfection.
In the air, and this will be
That is a fantastic bowling again by Tathir, keeping it on the stumps, not giving any room for the batsmen to play the shots freely. That is a good ball again, gets away with that. This time it will be a wide ball. It was a little wider. So team All Monsters and Viking Warriors, be ready for your game next. And please take the charge in the dugout. And once this match is over, let's quickly get on with the fielding. and start the match. And at the same time, Viking Warriors, keep your batsmen ready.
For the power play, Chauhan.
And it's time for the power play brought to you by Chauhan Group of Companies. 26 runs needed in this last 6 deliveries. Nothing is impossible in cricket, as we always see it, and our players here at the turf has proved that saying a lot of times. Some of the impossible innings that they've played and they've performed. So 26 runs on just 6 deliveries is not impossible target at all. But let's see who's going to win at the end of this over. The over number 8, the power play over, brought to you by Chauhan Group of Companies, comes in front of you. The very exciting one where on one side the batsman needs to score on every ball and the bowlers have to stop them scoring that. Who is going to be leading in this one? Last over, 26 runs, 6 deliveries only. First ball, nicely bowled by Salman. Behind the stumps, Puneet fields. 5 balls and 26 needed. That will be also a dot ball. So 2 wonderful deliveries by Salman. Good start to the over. 26 or 4. Another failure to hit that one. Now just 3 deliveries remaining. 26 to win. What a performance by undefeatables. And it is always said in any sport, it doesn't matter how you start, but it always matters how you finish. Oh. Well. That's happens sometimes, Mukesh. When it's not really, we've seen that many a times, the ball hitting the stumps, but the bail's not falling off. Good shot there by Shardul. And just a single, but what a way, and what a fantastic one for undefeatables. They kept on losing the wicket, didn't have too many runs on the scoreboard, gave a competitive total. Anuj Mishra, fantastic performance, and then all the bowlers, all the fielders, what a clinical performance by undefeatables. This is what we're talking about, that no game can be predicted right in the start, but undefeatables, what a win for them to register. And once again, I would like to welcome the Bollywood hunk and one of the finest